What?
Couldn't evolution be the answer to how and not the answer to why?
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class! Do you believe in a flying spaghetti monster too, Bubblehead?
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video, and oh boy, is this one going to be a spicy one, because, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Nova Nation, it has been a hot minute since I've done a rant video, and those of you who know I love me a good fucking rant video. But before we get into this video, just want to remind you guys, I am doing a giveaway for digital code of Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 5. All you have to do to be eligible is be subscribed to this channel and write Webhead in the comments. I'll be selecting a winner in October. But if you'd like to double your chances of being the winner, all you have to do is go to my buddy's channel, the Wize Old Gamer, and subscribe there as well, and that'll double your chances at winning that Spider-Man code. Also, by the way, we do a podcast every Friday on Wize's channel. It's called Wasted with Wize, and it's every Friday at 6:30 Eastern. Now, with all of that bullshit out of the way, let's get into this fucking video. And what's the purpose of this video? Well, first let me throw out some pieces of info here, okay? This is not a rant about Starfield specifically. This isn't a rant, complaining about something Starfield does or doesn't do. It's more a rant about some of the shit I've been hearing people say about Starfield and how what they're saying is stupid. And it's just honestly annoyed the shit out of me to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me make a video about this shit. It'll be good content for my channel because I love a good rant, and this is definitely rant-worthy shit. Also, for the record, I'm excited for Starfield. I'm a huge Bethesda fan, have been since Oblivion. I loved Oblivion, loved Skyrim, loved all the Fallout games. Never played 76, but that's not really a true Fallout game. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Bethesda games, and I'm looking forward to Starfield. I'm going to be playing it on my Series X, and I'm sure I'm going to be having a great time with it. That's not what the rant is about. That's not the problem I have here. This all kind of stemmed from something that one of my buddies from the Roundtable podcast, well, technically the owner of the Roundtable podcast, King Thrash, had said on Twitter, where he said that, and again, this is his opinion, he felt that the exploration was kind of a lie because you couldn't go and explore gas giants. He specifically used the word explore. He didn't say stand on, he didn't say walk, he didn't say go camping on, he didn't say take your bitch for a date. He said explore. Explore doesn't mean you have to touch down. Anyway, when he said that, immediately both Xbox fanboys, PC fanboys, and Starfield fanboys put on their fucking lab coats, their glasses with the tape in the middle, their pocket protectors, and instantly became fucking astrophysicists, and were like, actually, Mr. Thrash, you can't stand on a gas giant. The atmosphere would crush your body immediately. It's impossible. Oh, well, what else do you want? You want to walk on the sun? You're a fucking moron, Mr. Thrash. But look, whether you agree with Thrash or not, whether you agree with his criticism or not, I think his criticism is valid. And the reason for that is I can't be alone in thinking that when they sold us this game, they kind of implied that we can go anywhere we want. I don't believe I'm the only one that felt this way, right? Clearly, Thrash felt the way that I feel. After watching the Starfield Direct, he was left with the impression that if you can see it, you can go there. That's the impression that I was left with. That's kind of the implications I got from everything they laid out before us. And if you're not sure why I felt that way or he felt that way, here's a snippet from the Starfield Direct, and it was this specifically that really made me feel like, okay, great, we can go to all these places. But here's what the Starfield Direct said.
Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks at your feet to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
Now, did Bethesda outright explicitly say any place you see you can go to? No. But by saying things like, the choice of where to go is not up to us, it's up to you. And saying things like, see that shit out there? That's not a backdrop, that thing is really there. Yes, you can visit that too. I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong, but for me, I totally felt that implied that if I see it, I can go there. And I don't think I'm out of line in feeling that that's what they meant. Clearly, that's not what they meant, but that's neither here nor there. So all King Thrash said was, you cannot go to these, quote, planets because exploration was a lie. That's all he said. And again, for the record, he never said anything about stepping foot on the planet, landing on the planet, walking on the planet. He specifically used the word explore. But, of course, it pissed people off who got all up in their fucking feels and started retweeting and quote tweeting and saying dumb shit like this. You can't land on a gas giant, dumbass. Again, he never fucking said that you should be able to. He didn't say anything about landing on the gas giant at all. He said explore. But dudes have been running all over Twitter for the last couple days talking about what an idiot Thrash is because you can't step foot on a gas giant. Again, he never fucking said that. And I've been seeing this shit go on, and I, for the most part, stayed out of it, right? But then it just got to the point where I was like, you know, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. You're fucking morons, and let me explain why. First of all, like I said, he said explore. He didn't say shit about walking on the fucking planet, okay? Second, this is a science fiction video game in which, spoiler alert, even though they do show it in one of the trailers, you have special abilities, including alien mind control and the ability to disrupt gravity, again, with your mind. So you basically have superpowers in this game. But again, these fucking douchebags are sitting there in their rented lab coats going, actually, Mr. Thrash, you can't step on the gas giant because you would be absolutely crushed by the atmosphere. It's a physical impossibility. You can't do it. It's impossible. To even think that you could shows how stupid you are, Mr. Thrash. Bethesda worked hand in hand with NASA. Enough said, Mr. Thrash. And that's the other thing these dumb fucks keep doing. They keep throwing out the fact that Bethesda worked with NASA when they made this game. So I guess that somehow means that the game is scientific fact. Which, okay, great, they worked with NASA. Wonderful. What the fuck does that have to do with anything, right? How are you going to sit here and on one hand say, you can't explore a gas giant, that's impossible. And then on the other hand go, oh, space magic? Totally possible. I don't care that there's space magic. I'm not even going to worry about it. How does it work? Doesn't matter. It's a video game. Space magic. But if I want to explore a gas giant, explore a gas giant? Are you fucking retarded? You can't do that. That's impossible. But what about the space magic? It's a video game. What are you talking about? Space magic, who cares? Do you not see the fucking hypocrisy there? Do you not see how that makes no fucking sense? You can't sit there and then say, you can't do this, it's scientifically impossible, and then allow space magic to happen in the fucking game. Because unless you can fucking explain scientifically how the fucking space magic works, then it doesn't fucking matter. Once you got space magic, you've jumped the shark. You can't then try to hold shit down by scientific fact or by, oh, it doesn't work like this in the real world. Neither does fucking space magic. Alright? You fucking assholes. Also, even if there was no space magic in the game, right? Even if there was no special abilities in the game. None. Right? Let's say there was nothing in the game that was outside of the realm of absolute scientific fact. The game takes place in the year 2310. 23110. 10. That's 300 fucking years from now in a science fiction game. So let me put that time frame into context for some of you, because some of you may be saying, 300, so what? Let me put that in fucking context for you, okay? The first man in space was in 1961. That was only 62 years ago. The first airplane was 1902. That was 121 years ago. The first car, 1885, 138 years ago. The first phonograph, 1877, 146 years ago. The first fucking camera, 1816, 207 years ago. We'd have to go another 93 years into the past to go back 300 years. So to travel 300 years in the past, that means the fucking plane, the car, the phonograph, the camera, none of it invented. None of it. Okay? And then even, you have to go back almost an extra 100 years past the camera to reach 300 years. So is it completely outside the realm of possibility that 300 years from now, in a science fiction game, technology has been created that would allow you to explore the gas giants without it crushing you? Is that outside the realm of possibility? And if it is, if for you that's too far out of the realm of possibility, then how the fuck can you sit here and say that space magic is? How the fuck can you sit here and say, oh no, it's totally impossible, implausible that in 300 fucking years we might have more advanced technology allowing for the exploration of gas giants? Totally impossible. Can't happen. Space magic? Totally possible. Don't need to explain it. Space magic, totally fine. And you know the other thing? Why is it that you're not questioning faster than light travel? How are we traveling at light speed? Explain to me how we're doing that, because we can't do it right now. Oh, but you're just going to sit there and say, oh, in 300 years, we've totally developed faster than light travel, right? Because that's what you're going to say, right? Because right now, as it sits right now, faster than light travel is fucking possible. Impossible. We can't do it. We can't even get to Mars at regular speed. We can't get to Mars at regular speed, let alone go anywhere at light speed. But in the game, there's faster than light travel, something that's fucking impossible. But, I'm just going to assume that you're going to say, yeah, but in 300 years, of course we figured out light travel. Well, then how come in 300 years we couldn't have figured out a way to explore gas giants? Huh? How? You see how your own argument works against you, you fucking idiots? Because you want to base this whole thing in science. But if you're going to base this whole thing in science and say, oh, that's scientifically impossible, that's scientifically impossible, well, guess what? There's a lot of shit in the game that's scientifically fucking impossible. It's a science fiction video game, you fucking assholes. But again, according to you, totally impossible that we could have developed technology in the future, 300 years in the future, to explore a gas giant. But space magic, totally possible. I'd say there's a better chance of us having that technology in 300 years than there is of any of you fucking virgins getting laid in your entire fucking life. The other thing that's funny is that I brought up Cloud City to some people on Twitter because Cloud City is a floating city that's located on the gas giant planet of Bespin. It's a gas giant. Supposedly you can't explore there, but yet there's an entire city there in Star Wars. And you know what someone told me? I shit you not. They said, oh, well, Starfield is more Star Trek than Star Wars. First of all, they're both science fucking fiction. First of all. Second of all, if you're going to say, well, you can't have floating cities in a gas giant because that's more Star Wars and Starfield is more Star Trek. In Star Trek, they can beam people from place to place. They can literally suck you up from the fucking planet's surface into the ship. How are they doing that? Explain how that works. Explain how the Star Trek fucking teleporter works, you dumb motherfuckers. I can't with these fucking people. I can't. They don't think. Their heads don't fucking work. They are stupid. These people are fucking idiots. Idiots. They are fucking stupid. And look, I don't care that you can't explore a gas giant in the game. I don't. That doesn't bother me. There's 1,000 fucking planets. Guess what? I'm not going to visit anywhere near 1,000 of them. So if some of them I can't go to, no sweat off my back. There's another fucking 900 or whatever that I can go explore. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. All right? I do think it is kind of fucked up because, again, I felt that Bethesda was kind of implying that you can go anywhere you see. And if that's not the case, well, then I feel Bethesda should have been a little bit more clear about that when they were presenting this game to us. And again, did they explicitly say you can go anywhere you see? No, they didn't. And that's something that I've seen other dudes say, oh, Bethesda never said you can go anywhere you see. No, they didn't. But they did kind of imply it. I'm sorry, I don't know how you listened to that clip I played earlier and do not feel like they are heavily implying that you can go anywhere you see, right? But again, if that wasn't the case, I think Bethesda should have been a little more clear about that. But again, doesn't bother me. Don't care, not worried about it. The thing that I'm fucking annoyed with is these pretend astrophysicists who attacked Thrash simply because he was like, you can't explore a gas giant. I thought you should be able to explore everything. And they immediately started attacking him with how it's scientifically impossible to explore a gas giant or land on a gas giant or any of these other things that he never said, he was trying to actually do. Walk on, stand on, none of that shit. But either way, they were talking about what a fucking moron he is for wanting to explore a gas giant. That shit annoys me because, again, this is a fucking video game, ladies and gentlemen. A science fiction video game that takes place 300 years in the future with technology that does not exist today, with capabilities that we do not have, and space magic. Like, I could literally go up to one of these fucking idiots and say, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to travel at speeds that we can't fucking do to a planet that doesn't fucking exist, to look at alien creatures that are completely make-believe, and then use space magic. And they'll say, yeah, we do too. But if I then say, hey, you know what else I'd like to do? I'd like to go and explore that gas giant, because, it's not just a backdrop, I can go there too. I mean, that is kind of what Bethesda implied, right? But the second I do that, the fucking lab coats come back out, and it's, excuse me, Mr. Nova, but actually, you can't step foot on a gas giant. You can't explore it. The atmosphere would crush you, you fucking idiot. I legit even had one guy say, you need to go back to school and retake 5th grade science, you fucking moron. And again, look, if this was Space Simulator 2023, and I was, talking about visiting a gas giant, and they were like, listen, you can't do that. You would get crushed by the atmosphere. If that was the game, if it was Space Simulator 2023, I'd say, oh, okay, sure, I didn't know that, right? Because obviously, if you can't do it, if the atmosphere would crush us, and this is a space simulation game that's taking place in the year we currently live in, where it's impossible to do that, of course I'm going to say, oh, okay, I didn't know that, cool. Noted. We can't visit that, it'll crush us. The other thing is, people hit me with, yes, that thing is you want to go to the sun or some other stupid fucking impossible thing like that. No, nobody's trying to go to the sun. But maybe 300 years from now we've developed technology that allows us to do that. I don't know. This is a science fiction video game that takes place 300 years from now. You know what's funny? There was a fucking movie. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but this movie was called The Core. And this movie took place around the time it released, which was in 2003. And the whole plot of the movie is that, you know how the Earth rotates around the sun on its axis, and then it also rotates by itself, right? Well, the Earth was, the rotation of the Earth was slowing down, and it was causing all kinds of natural disasters and shit, and they needed to somehow get the Earth to start rotating again. So they literally create a fucking drill train thing so that they can tunnel to the center of the Earth and set off a nuclear explosion that would start the Earth spinning back on its axis. And not a single fucking person who went to see this science fiction movie was like, well, actually, entire audience, it's physically impossible to tunnel to the center of the Earth. Well, the pressure of the core would kill us, and the heat, sir, we wouldn't be able to survive the heat. It would melt any known aluminum or metal polymer or anything that we have. It would just get devastated by the heat of the core. It's a physical impossibility. No, they sat there and watched a science fiction movie and just enjoyed it. I don't understand why well, I do understand why. Okay, look, let's be honest about what's happening here. These people aren't really trying to say that, oh, you can't go to these places, you're a fucking idiot. These people are upset that King Thrash criticized the game. That's all it is. These are people that are upset that King Thrash criticized the game. They don't give a fuck what the criticism is. They're upset that he criticized the game. And because he happened to choose a gas giant as the thing he wanted to criticize, they immediately dogpiled and tried to use scientific fact and what's possible in reality as their defense for why what he said is so fucking stupid, right? In their eyes, anyway. That's what happened here. Not even thinking about the fact that if you were to take their own argument and apply it to other parts of the game, it would mean that a whole bunch of shit in the game shouldn't be possible and therefore should not be in the game. Right? They open the door to that. Just like in court, right? They call it opening the door. There may be things that you're not supposed to talk about in court, or things that were agreed upon not being entered in the court. It happened with the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case, right? He wasn't supposed to be able to bring up an ex and what happened with that ex, but Amber Heard mentioned that ex, and now she opened the door for Johnny Depp and his legal team now being able to use that information to help make their own case. Well, if you're going to, be these idiots and attack King Thrash, and let's look at it like it's a court case, right? King Thrash is over here, and he's the plaintiff, and he's going to the judge and saying, listen, judge, you should be able to explore this gas giant. They said that you can explore all these places. And if the defense is saying, actually, Your Honor, you shouldn't be able to explore that gas giant. It's scientifically impossible. You cannot do that in reality. Well, then, shit, you've now opened the door to scientific fact and reality and all that shit. And now, well, okay then. Well, if we can't explore gas giants because, as you said, it's scientifically impossible, we can't do it, well then, you need to remove faster than light travel from that game. It's, at this point, scientifically impossible. In theory, it can be done, but as it sits right now, we don't have faster than light travel. That needs to be removed from the game. And we can literally go through the entire game and find all the things in it, because it is a science fiction video game, all the things in it that are either scientifically impossible, not possible in reality, or just can't happen. It's, again, space magic. And now have to remove those things from the game. If you want to use their argument, then a whole bunch of shit needs to be removed from the game. And again, I'm not asking for that. I don't want that. I don't care that we can't explore the fucking gas giants. But again, for the record, I do think it is a little messed up because, at least for me, I felt that Bethesda implied that we can go anywhere we see. Again, to be fair, they didn't explicitly say that, but I felt that it was kind of heavily implied. But either way, I'm not bothered by the fact that I can't go to the gas giant. 1,000 planets, I'm never going to visit all 1,000. Whatever is there for me to explore, right? If the actual number of explorable planets is closer to 800, I'm not even going to visit all of those. I'm not bothered by that, okay? I'm not bothered by any of this shit. What I'm bothered by is people that want to sit here and throw on lab coats and call other people fucking morons for wanting to do something, claiming that it's scientifically impossible, while ignoring all the other scientifically impossible shit in the game. This is the equivalent of playing Grand Theft Auto and getting pissed off and saying, oh, how dare they have strip clubs in this game? You need to remove the strip clubs. That's terribly vulgar. But, yet not saying a goddamn thing about being able to pick up hookers, right? It's like, well, if that's vulgar and that needs to be removed from the game, well, why aren't you pissed off about the hookers or all the other vulgar, obscene shit that takes place in the game, right? That's kind of what this is. You're going to say, you can't do that, scientifically impossible, you're a moron, while just ignoring all the other scientifically impossible shit in the game. Again, because this is not about whether or not you can actually explore a gas giant. This is about they are pissed off at him because he criticized the game and they decided to throw on their rented lab coats and then try to use science as a way to say, you're a fucking moron. And then dogpile on him, right? And again, I don't care that they dogpiled on him. This video isn't me trying to defend King Thrash, even though in the grand scheme of things, this overall argument will kind of be defense for what he said. I don't care that they dogpiled King Thrash. He's a grown goddamn man, and he's perfectly capable of defending himself. Like, if this was some other thing he had said, and they dogpiled him, I don't give a shit, right? Because I don't give a shit that they dogpiled him. I don't give a shit that they're calling him a moron. That doesn't bother me. But again, what bothers me is calling him a moron because they claim something scientifically impossible while ignoring all the other scientifically impossible shit in the fucking game. And listen, at this point, I don't know how long this video is. I've been ranting for a while. I just want to say to any of you out there who want to run your mouths and bitch and complain and go, it's actually a physical impossibility, you are a moron. Well, to you I say, fuck you, suck on these nuts, go fuck your mother, it's a goddamn science fiction video game, and I hope and pray one day you get some pussy, because it may fix that fucking screw in your head that's clearly not screwed in right. Anyway, fuck those assholes. If anybody else is experiencing the same shit or having back and forth on Twitter with the same fucking idiots that I am, feel free to forward them this video so they can listen to me tell them how fucking dumb they, in fact, are, because it really is they're being fucking stupid. It's funny. And them trying to call other people stupid, they're literally just showing how stupid that they themselves are. So fuck them, and that's all I got for you guys on this one. And that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, if you want to be eligible for that Spider-Man 2 giveaway, make sure you write Webhead in the comments. And if you want to double your chances at winning, go ahead over to Wize's channel, The Wise Old Gamer, and subscribe to him as well. Link to his channel in the description. And we also are doing podcasts every Friday called Wasted with Wize at 6:30 Eastern. And feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next Supernova.